Hi, how is everybody? It's been a little while since I've come on. So today I thought I would come on and just do a quick little update, a little hello, show what I've finished and what I've been working on. I haven't done very much. I started a new job. I'm not a morning person, so it's been getting up at 5:30 in the morning. It's taking a little bit to get used to, but I'm Janice. I live in a little small town, northern central-ish in Alberta, Canada. I'm here with my partner and our 15-year-old son. My other kitties have moved on, live in different places in Alberta. But yeah, it's been a little while. Not much has really happened in my world, just working. I have made a couple slippers, which we have a knit group that we go to on Thursday nights, and I've just given them to them. There's a lady that's going to just sell them and give the money to local Legion here in town. So I've done, I think, 2 or 3 pairs for that, just simple little knit and crocheted slippers. But I do have something that I finished, and I think I showed it a little while ago, maybe a couple months ago, but it's called the 11 Acres Pullover, and this is it. I did have it on earlier today, but I got hot. It's cold outside, really windy, and with the wind, and I think it's only like maybe 6 degrees, it's cold. Winter's coming. But yeah, it's called the 11 Acres Pullover by, let me see here, Autumn and Indigo. It does have long sleeves in the pattern, but I found this to be a little bit itchy, and I really wish I had the name of this yarn. I completely forget, and I gave the rest of it away. So I wear it over top of this long sleeve black shirt, and then I went with the short sleeves, so it's like a t-shirt. Just a simple raglan, easy to do. Knit one, purl one on the bottom. Same with the sleeves, just knit one, purl one. Easy. If you are a beginner knitter and you want to do a sweater, I'll recommend this. You don't have to worry. It's a little bit of short rows. The raglan is extremely easy, and after that, you just knit. It's just straight down knitting. It's an easy pattern. I would recommend it for someone who's a beginner. I'm a beginner knitter when it comes to sweaters. I have not knit a bunch of sweaters. This is my 3rd one. And I don't have a lot of experience, but this is one that if someone was asking, I would highly recommend it. But I love it. Like I said, I wear it long sleeves. I think last week I had on with a tank top. It was still getting itchy in my shoulders. I haven't washed or blocked it yet. Someone told me that if I wash it, it may take some of the itch out. So I think I'll try that and see what happens. But otherwise, I love it. Also, I did a test knit for Claire, Northwoods Knit Co. She's on Instagram, Ravelry. This sock. It's called Autumn Leaves. Let's see if I can get it open so you can see the lace work. Isn't that beautiful? And it goes the whole way, let's see here, down the foot to the toe. Oh, that doesn't look very good, does it? It's not really showing it well. But yeah. First, when I looked at the pattern, I was like, oh my goodness, it's lace work. This is my first, actually my 2nd pair of socks has had a pattern in it. So easy. If you can knit and purl, you can do this. I think it was a 12-row repeat. Yes. Oh my goodness, it's so simple. I would recommend it. And when you buy this, it actually comes in a triple pack. There's this one, Autumn Leaves, Sweater Weather, and I forget the name of the 3rd one. So when you buy it, you get 3 socks patterns. Also, She has it so you can do it top down or toe up. She has customized it so that you can knit it either way, because some people are team top down, some people are cuff down, some people are team toe up. Mine, I did cuff down. I've done a couple pairs toe up, but I do not like the cuff. I don't like how I bind off. This one I find is a bit more snug, and when I do the toe up, I find that my cuff kind of like flares out like this. My next podcast, if I remember, I'll show you a pair and I'll show the difference from where I do a cuff down to a toe up. Also, I did these, I have the next one, I haven't got far because I've been working, but this is how much I've got down the next one. And I'm using 2 circular needles, 2.5. I learned how to do this on another pair of socks and I enjoy it. The circular needles 2 at a time. I think the podcast I learned from was it Earth? Oh, I can't remember her name. Just one second here. Sorry. Yes, my honey texting. She teaches also how to use the 2, and I'm thinking also, just one second. Sorry, it's gonna be a bit of a bloop there. A Crazy Sock Lady, I believe, also teaches for 2 at a time. It's actually pretty simple. I like it, I enjoy it. Mostly I do double pointed needles. That's kind of my favorite method to use, but for this time it was nice to get a break from it, because honestly I kind of think sometimes with a thinner yarn, I think I might prefer doing the 2 circulars. I think, because you don't have all those extra needles to go around, right? But, and the sock yarn that I used for this was Rose Hill Yarns, which I had won. I think it's called Frolic. I'd won it for the competition for the Edmonton Fiber Frolic. So it came in that pack that I won. And I just knit it up into this. Hopefully I have it done, the next one going. It's actually really fast. Once you get into it and you start building these little leaves, you don't want to stop. You get to that one, you want to keep going and going and going. I think I did like 4 one night because you just want to keep seeing them grow. I'll recommend it. I want to do her other 2 in that pattern pack as well. The sweater weather one of them has like cable down the front and one has little cables go the whole way around it. Definitely want to try that. Another thing I wanted to show you guys that I have been working on for a while. I think last winter I started it. Yeah, I think last winter. It's one of those ones that's big and I get bored with it, and the bigger it gets. But it's a granny square, actually granny rectangle blanket. This is it here. So yeah, it's growing. Trying to get myself into doing it so I can do a round, 2 rounds a week of each color. This is what I'm keeping it in. I love my wicker baskets. Let's see if I can find a wrapper. I do know it's a Michael's brand, Impeccable, but I do not keep labels. I'm bad for it. I lose them. Usually when my husband balls up yarn, he cakes them up. He sticks it in the bottom of the cakes because I don't keep the labels. And then I'm looking for them later, trying to remember the color of them, right? I'm bad for that. But this week I've done 2. I did this one and this one. I kind of messed up this section, but I'm a firm believer. I don't take it all back. This is a big hole. It's for my couch. It's for me, right? I mean, I'm not making it for somebody and selling it, so. And I'm only going until I run out of the yarn. When these colors are done, it's going to be done. I'm just going to put it in the back of my couch just so it's on display. I don't have many things to show in my home. What about you guys? I love the idea of having knit or crocheted pillows or blankets. So I keep looking at my living room. It's Move it that way. But I never do it. So I'm trying to get it because I like to have this, a couple crocheted or knit pillows. Someday I'd like to, our kitchen doesn't have a kitchen window. I've always liked the idea of doing a little kitchen, a window valance, I think it is, little curtain just up top. Eventually, if I ever have a kitchen that has a window over the sink, I want to crochet a cute little topper for the window. I've seen them, they're so pretty. It's showing your work, it's homemade. How can you go wrong with that, right? But yeah, I'm loving it. It's gonna be nice when it's done, but I have another blanket in the go. I showed it a while ago. It's the little mitered square ones, but it's with fingering weight yarn. I'll get back to it someday. Right now it's in hibernation for a bit because I was just, you know how we all get that sometimes, not all of us, but you kind of get sick with one project. I needed a break from it. So I'm gonna pick this one back up. I'm really gonna hope that I have it done by Christmas. But I'm wanting to knit a blanket. We went to Michael's today and they had their yarn on for 30% off. All of their yarn. I seen a really cool pattern that I thought I'd like to make and knit up. It was Patton's, Canadiana. They didn't have all the colors. The one color that I was gonna go grab, I turned my back and I looked back and a lady had taken every single ball. There had to have been about 15 balls of it. It was all gone. So if anyone has any good ideas for a bulky, chunky weight blanket pattern, let me know please in the comments, or even yarn to suggest for it. I want to knit a nice thick blanket, not the brunette blanket yarn. I don't like that stuff. To me, I shouldn't say it's not yarn, but I don't like it. It feels almost like it's fleece strips. I don't like it. I like more the feel of this kind of stuff here. So if anybody does, please give me, if you have any recommendations, I'd love to know. Because I want to knit one that's big, thick yarn, so I can have a quicker gratification. Because when you're knitting with that small yarn, it takes a long time to finish a project a lot of times. When you can knit a big one and it's done quicker, you can be, I've got an end result. That kind of feeling. Although my mom would always tell me, Janice, knitting with that thicker yarn, there needs to be a little bit more holes in it. It's not as tight knitting, so it's not as warm. She's like, go with the thinner yarn because it's tighter knit together and you get more warmth from it. But still, I just want that quick project and I want a blanket to curl up with. But yeah, so I'm gonna keep working on it. Maybe I'll show it again when it's done. I don't know if I'll show it again partially before it's done. It's gonna take me a while. Also, I think that's it for things I've got done. Yeah, or what I'm working on. I haven't done much. And I think about it all the time, even when I'm not doing it. I'm at work. My job is highway maintenance. So in the winter time, I'll be plowing the snow, which where we live here in Alberta, we get a lot for like months. Even when I'm in the truck and I'm driving all day, I still think about knitting and what I want to do. I go to sleep at night and I think about knitting. Sometimes I get a little overwhelmed with myself because I feel like, then just go knit. But I know my limits, and when I'm tired, I don't, because I know I start making mistakes and then I have to rip back, and I want to keep the pleasure and the passion and the joy in knitting. So if I feel that, I put it down. Before I forget, this is also something I finished a while ago too. My first cable hat. I think it was called the gingerbread man hat. I wish, a lot of times I'll find a pattern online, I'll take a screenshot of it. And then I'll just look at my photos and I'll do the pattern from there. So I don't even know who the pattern this is by. If I ever find out who it is, I will tell you. I don't remember. I think it was a gingerbread hat or gingerbread man. I'm not sure. But my first cable hat. I like it. I actually enjoyed doing cables. It was quite fun, to be honest. Trying it out with the cable needles. I used Lion brand woolies from a leftover cardigan that I made. ended up really fast. I think it's a bit loose, but I'm a hat wearer. I wear hats all the time. If I'm not wearing a hat like this, I'm wearing a ball cap. I just have to keep my head covered. It's weird. But anyways, I'll stop rambling because I'm just rambling. Yes, I went to a yarn shop today in St. Albert, here in Alberta. I think it's called Yarn Divas. Tea and something. If you Google it, it's Yarn Divas, because I haven't been there yet, and they've opened not too long ago. And I got a couple of things. Christmas coming, so I've been thinking about I want to do some knit gifts this year. My kids are getting older, so it's kind of getting hard to buy them stuff. And if I can make something, I prefer it, because it's a little bit of me given to them that I did with my hands, and I love them, and I put my love into the work. So I feel like when they wear a hat or mittens or they have a blanket from me, it's mom's wrapped into them, mom's on their hands, mom's with them. I don't know if it sounds a little corny, but I always want them to have something that I made with love. But yeah, so I got this yarn. I never heard tell it before. It's called Onion Knit. It is so nice. It's 70% something and 30% something. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce what it is. I know it's organic woolen nettles, Nettles, so maybe some of you guys are familiar with it. But you can go on www.onion.dk. It's nettle fibers and organic wool. So it's not, I was told today instead of using nylon, they use what's called nettles fiber. 80 meters, 50 grams. Let's see, it's made in Italy. It comes from Denmark. Oh, I love when you get yarn from different countries like that. It's so exciting. There isn't a color to it, it's just a dye lot, but it's purple. So I got 2 balls. I'm going to make my daughter a hat. And I just remembered my daughter watches this. Well, Desiree, you know what you're getting for Christmas, one of your gifts. You're getting a hat made of this, but you're not going to know what it looks like. Knit up. It'll be a surprise. Yeah, I completely forgot. She watches my episodes. Anyways, that's all I'm going to show of it. You won't know anything else until Christmas. I don't know if anybody else on here has children that live away from home. She's only 3.5, 4 hours away, but good golly, do I miss her? Oh, I miss my kid. And then my other son lives an hour and I think 15 minutes away from here. Oh, I miss them. I miss them. But I'll stop because I'll start being all emotional and crying. But I miss my kids. The other thing I got is I am going to try knitting. I had to write it down because I think I pronounced it right. I hope I do. It's called S-E-L-B-U. Selbu mittens. I wish I had a picture. So look up S-E-L-B-U mittens pattern. They like Scandinavian, I think it's Norwegian. I hope I'm saying it right. Mittens. They have beautiful patterns in them. I've been wanting to try them for years. I got quite daunted because I read a pattern once and I was like, oh my goodness, I can't get this. But then I realized last night there's a whole bunch of YouTube channels of sweet, awesome ladies that have given instructions, that have helped people get through that. And then once you get going, it's not that bad. So I got some Rama Garn, I think is how you say it. Another company that I have a hard time reading. I can't read what that says. I do know that it's 100% Norsk, U-I-I, I think. 180 meters, 50 grams. Yeah, that's all it says. I can't understand the rest of it, but I got black and white. Or black and cream. So something else I'm going to start. That's kind of what my this weekly thing is, to do another 2 more rounds on my granny square blanket. Cast on Bruce's socks, which I use Briggs & Little for that. I don't know if I showed. I did. I actually showed you guys when I bought it, the skeins of it. I'm going to start a pair of black with him, for him. Black and then do gray stripes at the top. I lost one of my needles. I am bad. I'm careless when it comes to my needles. I have to actually go and find the 4th needle to knit his socks. So that's kind of where I'm gonna put myself. I dream about these things. I go to bed thinking about it, go to work thinking about it. I'm eating supper, I'm thinking about it. I'm on Pinterest constantly thinking about it. So stop procrastinating and start. But yeah, and it's kind of cool. They gave me a nice cloth bag too that says I love St. Albert. I mean, I wouldn't say I love St. Albert because the construction there is disgusting. They've made it worse. And the main street through St. Albert, I think, has 1,000,000 lights. So it could take you literally 45 minutes to get from the outskirts of St. Albert literally to where Edmonton, the big city, is because of how many lights. It's ridiculous. And the construction. Let me know, do you guys have construction in the area where you guys are at? Because everywhere we're at, you get excited for the summer, right? To go on the holidays and go for nice long drives, and you realize, okay, wait, you can't because there's construction literally everywhere. And then come wintertime, you can't that much because then there's, well, here anyways in Canada, you can have ice roads, snow, it's freezing. But before I go, because as you can see, somebody's in the background, we got supper started. We have no kids this weekend. Well, my son's visiting away. So we're gonna have a nice little romantic dinner. Steak and potatoes and salad and broccoli. Because I have to go to work overnight tonight. But the last thing I wanna show to you. My nanny passed away in May of this year. And I live on the other side of Canada, and she's on the other coast, so it's a long drive and it's expensive to fly, so I wasn't able to afford to go home when she passed away. I think all the goodness and the wonderful and the sweetness went from her to my mom to me because she was amazing. That lady could knit, she could crochet, but quilting was her passion. Yeah, she was pretty awesome. So I had one of her quilts sent out to me because I never got one of her quilts because she had lots of them, and my grandpa picked one out for me. Sorry. So I just wanted to show you something that she made. I don't quilt, but I want to. I want to keep the passion alive because most of us grandkids don't. We haven't kept it going. And I just, as soon as I can afford to get a sewing machine, I'm going to take up some quilting to keep it alive because that's what she did. She spent, you know, most of her time in her quilting room, and even before she passed away and she was sick, she was just had to keep her foot going, keep the pedal foot. So yeah, this is, yeah, I'm just gonna show it to you guys because I'll just sit here and just start bawling. But let's see, it's really, really big. Here. And what's nice is most of these are from clothing. Like she made us kids skirts and she made us shirts, and all the family got homemade clothing. So she would keep the little tiblets and make quilt pieces. And this is one of the ones that she did a long time ago. So, and I also got, one of my aunts gave me an extra little, a goodie from her. It was her thimble that she used when she would sew. And it still has a little tape on the inside of it for it wasn't rubbing on her finger, and one of her little pieces of material for a quilt that she was working on that she didn't get done. This is all hand done. Every bit of it, all the blocks are hand sewn together. Even the design across the back, it's all hand stitched. My nanny never used, a lot of people send their quilts to a place where they have the big machine that quilts them. Nanny never did. Nanny was, she had an old quilt frame, and it had like the 4 sides, if you've ever seen paper quilting, and she would just keep rolling it up as she would get across it. I remember being a little girl and playing underneath of it, and she'd poke the needle down and I would pull it and stick it back up for her. So I would lay under there reading a book, coloring, and just watch her and a lot of sisters from the church just go in and out, doing her quilting. So this is a piece of my nanny. Her name was Donna. Just wanted to share that. But yeah, and then when I get a chance to go home, then I can go and do my proper goodbye to her. Also, my mom had sent me some slippers that she knit, and there was embroidery flower on the toe of it that my nanny had done not long before she had passed away as well. She wanted to have an embroidery flower. She's like, no, Debbie, which is my mom, let's put a flower on there, not a pom-pom. But yeah, if you get family that's not close, or even if they're close, call them up, send them a text. I say more call or go see them if you can. Tell them you love them and you miss them. Life's short when you think about it that way. But thanks for watching. I will come on again as soon as I can, because as soon as the snow starts flying, I am 24 days on usually and 15, 16 hours a day, so I'll come on as much as I can. But I wish you all well. I wish you guys peace in your life and joy. Yeah, just hold a loved one tight today. Take care.